Without strict organization, you spend half your time hunting down misplaced components. But with a solid architectural pattern, those chaotic files snap perfectly into place. Today, we are going to map out the exact file structure of the Next.js app router. By the end, you will know exactly where every file belongs and how to manipulate the URL routing system using nothing but folder names. Before we start, make sure you have a code editor ready, a fresh installation of Next.js, and a cup of coffee. Memorizing these folder conventions saves you hours of debugging later. As your application scales in size, a rigid structure ensures your project remains easy to navigate and maintain. Step 1 is looking at the root of your project. This top level is where all your configuration files live, like your environment variables, ESLint configs, and package dependencies. By default, you'll also see your primary app directory sitting right here in the root. Leaving it exposed mixes your active application UI code directly with your infrastructure and tooling files. To fix this, create a new folder named src in the root directory and move your entire app folder inside of it. Dumping everything together creates immediate visual clutter. Tucking the app directory inside a dedicated source folder cleanly separates your actual code from your project configuration. The src shield creates a boundary. It guarantees that as you add more tools and configs over time, they will never get entangled with your front-end logic. Now let's look at routing. If we create a new folder inside app called blog and navigate to /blog in the browser, we get a 404 error. In Next.js, nested folders define your route structure, but they don't automatically make a page accessible. The route remains hidden until you add a specific file. This diagram shows the 7 reserved file names that dictate a route's behavior. Page holds your unique content, and layout creates a shared wrapper, like a navigation bar. Loading instantly creates a skeleton state, and error catches crashes to keep your app running. To prove it, we drop a page.tsx file into our blog folder, export a simple React component, and the browser instantly renders the route. By baking the architecture right into the directory tree, you remove the need for massive, fragile routing files. The file system itself acts as your single source of truth. You can manipulate these URL paths using specific punctuation marks. For variable data, like a blog post ID, wrap the folder name in square brackets to create a dynamic route. If you want to group your marketing pages separate from your store pages without adding marketing to the actual web address, you wrap the folder name in parentheses. Think of parentheses as a stealth cloak. They organize your code locally, but make the folder completely invisible to the final URL. To keep utility files or UI components safely next to your pages without exposing them as web pages, prefix the folder name with an underscore. The underscore explicitly blocks the routing system. It tells Next.js to ignore the folder and everything inside it, ensuring internal logic stays private. Square brackets for dynamic data, parentheses for silent organization, and underscores for private files. Mastering these gives you absolute control. Next.js provides even deeper layout tools. Using an @ symbol creates a named slot, letting you render entirely different interfaces independently within a single layout. You can also use parentheses with a dot inside to create an intercepting route. This lets you load a new route as a modal overlay over the current page, keeping the user in their original context while updating the URL. The app directory also handles SEO natively. Dropping static files named favicon.ico, sitemap.xml, or opengraph-image.png directly into your folders automatically configures your meta tags. If you have an application with entirely different user experiences, you can delete the global root layout and create multiple root layouts inside different route groups. Caution: if you split your app into multiple root layouts, you must manually add the HTML and body tags into every single one of them. These advanced patterns allow you to house massive multi-tenant applications inside a single, highly organized repository. When applied, the file tree mirrors the application logic, creating clean separation between global configuration and individual feature code. Let's run the checklist. Use src for a clean root, parentheses to group files silently, underscores to keep files private, and brackets for dynamic URL data. Adopting these conventions ensures your application remains scalable and manageable for an entire engineering team. Now that your project is structured, it's time to build. Like, subscribe, and happy coding!